What's up, guys? Chase Oliver here, bringing you another classic PPV review series video. Anyways, I asked a question last week, what's your favorite Unforgiven? And you guys answered Unforgiven 06. I think Unforgiven 06 was the most mentioned out of all the other Unforgivens. A lot of you guys said review Unforgiven 06. That's my favorite, so thank you guys very much. Now for the question for next week's classic pay-per-view review, I want to know, which WCW Fall Brawl should I review? Now, it doesn't have to be the best Fall Brawl. It doesn't have to be the worst. It doesn't have to be your favorite. It's just, which general Fall Brawl do you guys want me to review? Which Fall Brawl do you think, like, I should review on this channel? So leave your comments down below of which WCW Fall Brawl I should review for next week's classic pay-per-view review series. Anyways, guys, let's get started with the Unforgiven 2006 review. You know, I was kind of surprised that a lot of you guys were saying Unforgiven 2006 was your favorite show. Like, I remember that they had 3 huge main event matches. Like, there was a lot of matches that were really good on this show. In the main event aspect, like, there was 3 matches from the main event that you can easily remember and stuff like that. But, you know, for the whole show itself, I remember back when I watched it live, I didn't remember much of it. Like, I did remember the 3 main event matches, but I didn't remember much of it. And I went back and I watched this show and I said, wow, actually a good show. This was actually a good show, and if you ever want to watch a WWE pay-per-view, especially in, you know, the current era of wrestling, this is one I suggest. I actually thought this was a really, really good show. I'm surprised a lot of people don't talk about it that much. We kicked off the show with Johnny Nitro defending his IC championship against Jeff Hardy. You know, Nitro at the time, they were separating him from Eminem. They drafted him to Monday Night Raw. They were trying to build him up as a single star. They gave him the IC strap. Here was the problem, though. There was really no one for Johnny Nitro to feud with over the IC title. There really wasn't anyone. And here comes the Jeff Hardy returning, still hot as fuck. The fans still love Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy left the WWE in 2003 and afterwards was dicking around in TNA for a bit before he decided, oh, I'm going to come back to the WWE. They bring him back. He's hot as ever still. They're like, hell, why not? This is a good way to establish Johnny Nitro as a single star. Let's have Johnny Nitro take on Jeff Hardy one-on-one for the IC championship, and that's what they did. This match is really long. It's a really good back-and-forth match. It shows how much these men want the IC championship. I found myself enjoying this match, and this was a really good way to start off the show, in my opinion. I felt Melina did a good job as a manager in this match, and I liked the way Johnny Nitro won here, that he won in a good way that didn't really hurt Jeff Hardy but made him look good at the end of the day. So I felt they did some good business here. This is definitely a good match and one that you should definitely check out. And this one will get you really going to watch the rest of the show, because I know this match, it really was like, wow, I forgot this match was on the card, and this match was actually really good. So I was surprised by that. And we move on to the next match, Kane versus Umaga. Now, at the time, they were bringing in Umaga. He was also known as Jamal from 3 Minute Warning. Did somebody say 3 minutes? Oh, God, that shit was so fucking corny. But they were bringing back Jamal as Umaga. One report that was actually interesting, like, apparently the Umaga character was supposed to be Samoa Joe. Yeah, believe it or not, I guess Samoa Joe was supposed to bring in as Umaga. But apparently Samoa Joe did not want to take the role. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if this is true or not. I just heard it through the rumor mills that apparently it was supposed to be Samoa Joe playing Umaga. And I guess Joe didn't want to take it because of wearing the face paint and he wasn't supposed to talk. I forget what the reason was. But, you know, that's just one rumor I heard. So the role of Umaga was supposed to be Samoa Joe. But instead they bring back Jamal. And he looked really good. He fit the part for Umaga perfectly well. Umaga was a monster heel, and you have a monster facing Kane. At the time, Kane, he was pretty much dicking around. They didn't know what they were doing with Kane. Oh, May 19th, tag team with the Big Show. Do whatever the fuck you want, Kane. We don't know what the hell to do with you. So pretty much Kane was just kind of being a monster, but with no direction whatsoever. So it made sense. Monster versus monster. Kane versus Umaga. Good big man match between these two, and I like the way it ended. They ended this match in a double countout, and this makes character sense. These two are supposed to be 2 fucking monsters. Monsters don't give a shit about the rules. That's just the bottom line. They don't give a shit about the rules. They just want to inflict pain and all that other crap. So when you have these two just beating each other up outside of the ring, it ends in a double countout. This makes character and booking sense. Why waste a Kane and Umaga definitive finish on an Unforgiven pay-per-view when you know that this feud could probably last another pay-per-view where you could end it here? You know, why not? Why? It would make no sense just to have Kane and Umaga end here. So I really liked how they ended this match. I believe they continued the feud until Cyber Sunday. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe they did. And they did good stuff here. I really liked how they ended the Kane and Umaga feud, or how they started the Kane and Umaga feud here at Unforgiven 06. Really, really good stuff. I really like the details on the monster character too, because, like, do you think that monsters, if they're beating the crap out of each other, care if the referee is counting them out? No, they don't care about that shit. So I really, really did like what they did here. Up next, this is probably the worst match of the night, and it's an okay match. It's not bad, but this is probably the worst match of the night. The Spirit Squad featuring Kenny, Mikey, Mitch, Dickie, Johnny, and we are the Spirit Squad. I love the Spirit Squad. I don't care what any of you all say. That shit was hilarious. Nikki from the Spirit Squad, you guys know as Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, before he was Dolph Ziggler, he was Nikki of the Spirit Squad. And before he was Nikki of the Spirit Squad, he was nicknamed the caddy for Curran White. You know, it's funny. A lot of you guys are like saying, like, oh, Ziggler's treated like shit in the WWE right now. Ziggler needs to be treated better. It's like, do y'all forget that this guy was once a cheerleader and that this guy was once a caddy for the WWE? Y'all should be happy about his position right now. Y'all shouldn't be, like, complaining that, oh, Ziggler's being buried and they're not utilizing Ziggler correctly. This motherfucker was a cheerleader and a caddy at one point. Be happy that this guy is finding some success in the career. And he wasn't even the main guy in the Spirit Squad. No, the main dude of the Spirit Squad was Kenny. Kenny Dykstra was the main guy. Y'all know that because after he split up from the fucking Spirit Squad, they made, like I said, they made him into Kenny Dykstra and he was being shoved down our damn throats. They took on a stereotypical tag team, the Highlanders. Highlanders didn't really last long in the WWE. Like, they were promoting them throughout most of the summer, and then afterwards, they just kind of disappeared. I remember I heard a story. I can't remember if this is true or not, or if there's a report, but one of the Highlanders went to TNA Bound for Glory 06 that year. Like, they went to TNA Bound for Glory that year, and apparently there's pictures of him online where he was at the show enjoying it. I can't remember which one, and I haven't seen the pictures myself, but I remember someone telling me that, so I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, the Highlanders didn't last long. Kenny and Mikey represented the Spirit Squad here. They pretty much carried the whole match, and they retained the World Tag Team straps. Up next, we get into one of the main event matches of the night, Degeneration X, Triple H and Shawn Michaels taking on Vince, Shane McMahon, and The Big Show. Yes, the McMahon and Michaels feud continued on. After WrestleMania, Shawn was like, the Spirit Squad are too much. I have to ask my buddy Triple H to help me out. They reformed DX, and pretty much that whole summer, it was like DX versus the McMahons in some sort of fucking way. Hell in a Cell match-wise, it's just okay. But for the angle and the storyline they're working with, because there's a lot of comedic elements in this match, it works. It's actually a good match for, you know, what the story they're trying to tell here. So I liked it. You know, there was some funny stuff, like Vince getting his ass shoved into Big Show. One thing that I will say I hated about this match is, like, you know, Big Show's your ECW champion. And yes, we knew WWE ECW was a joke, but it's just like, kind of like, come on, if you're going to try to establish your ECW champion, this is not a good way to do so. You know, having him get his ass, like, pretty much implanted by Shane and Vince's head. Like, that's not a good way to promote your ECW champion. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, for this match, it was pretty good. You know, there's a lot of blood in it. For a lot of you guys that miss blood, you're going to find this match enjoyable. I always like the ending bit of this match, too, when Vince is on his fucking knees and Triple H levels him with the sledgehammer and the fucking top of the sledgehammer falls off. That shit was awesome. Like, that was an awesome way to end this match right here. Degeneration X picks up the win to go dick around and do other stuff. They entered a feud with Rated RKO after this. The next main event match of the evening was Trish Stratus taking on Women's Champion Lita. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in this event, about this event, is that it was taking place in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where Trish is from. And they were building this up as Trish's last match, and it made sense for her to face off against Lita. You know, these two were the biggest women for the WWE at this time. They were the two women with huge star power for the WWE. Trish and Lita went out there, and I would have to say this match wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I'm going to be dead honest here. I think a lot of people overrated a lot. Maybe because they overrate it just because it's Trish's last match, and it is Trish and Lita. And it doesn't matter how poor the quality is. It's just the name value that matters the most. Like, you know, it happens sometimes. You know, people will overrate matches just because they see the two names involved in the certain matches. I thought this match was just okay. It's not the worst match of the night. It's definitely the most disappointing when you look at it because you expected a lot better. Like, I felt these two had much better matches in the past. You know, the match where they main evented Monday Night Raw I thought was better. But this was just okay. And the match, that's actually kind of cool for us guys. We kind of got a treat from Trish's last night. The floor was wet from the previous match before. And yeah, Trish was wearing all white. Yeah, I know. It was pretty damn hot. I was pretty excited seeing Trish in all white, man. It was nice, and she got a little bit wet, and you can see through a lot of things on there. So definitely check that out for a lot of you guys who love looking at Trish Stratus, because I'm one of them. But yeah, we were treated with a nice scene. Like, the floor was wet, man. It was awesome. It was like Trish knew. She's like, Lita, you suplex me on this wet floor. I'm giving the male fans what they want to see. She was saying goodbye in a good way. Trish was saying goodbye in a good way. This is a long women's match on pay-per-view, longer than usual. Trish ends up winning the women's championship to end her illustrious career in the WWE. And it was kind of a sad moment, too, when you knew that Trish was done. Like, even the Canadian fans were saying, please don't go. Please don't go. Because, you know, following afterwards was Lita. Like, Lita pretty much was like, see ya, bye, I'm done. And then all we had left in the women's division was Mickie James and Melina. Yeah, that was pretty much left of the women's division once Trish Stratus left. But it was kind of sad seeing Trish Stratus go. And, you know, like I said, the match, it's okay. It's definitely disappointing. You know, I think a lot of people will probably say, no, Chase, this was actually a good match. But for me, especially a final match, you know, it was just okay. It wasn't like their best matchup. And I knew that these women could perform a lot better. But yeah, it was okay. The next matchup is the most random matchup of the night. I totally forgot this matchup took place. I was laughing. I literally, like, after Trish and Lita, I'm like, all right, I'm ready for Cena versus Edge. And they're like, coming up next, Randy Orton versus Carlito. I'm like, what? Randy Orton and Carlito? And I remembered, for whatever fucking reason, they were like, let's pair Carlito up with Ric Flair. Woo! Like, what? They were trying to push Carlito as a baby face. I don't fucking know why. Like, don't get me wrong. Carlito is exciting to watch in the ring. He does a lot of springboard moves. He can do a hurricanrana. He's athletic enough. He can do exciting moves. But I was like, really? Carlito is a baby face? And he was with Ric Flair, and Randy Orton got involved because at this point in 2006, guys, before Rated RKO, Randy Orton was in limbo. It was like after WrestleMania 22, Randy Orton got cut, you know, smoking that good weed. He was smoking that good shit backstage. He got caught with that shit. He was suspended for 60 days under the wellness policy. Had a couple matches with Kurt Angle, and then afterwards he was just kind of like in limbo. Like, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing with Randy Orton. It was kind of like, hey, Orton, what are you doing? Well, I don't know. Like, feuded with Hogan a little bit. They just didn't know what to do with Randy Orton. So Randy Orton was kind of reverting back to, like, the Legend Killer gimmick. And, like, he was mad at Ric Flair and called Carlito a loser. And Carlito was like, I'm cool, not a loser. And I spit in the face of people who are not cool. And, yeah, so they had a match. I honestly think they just wanted to have this match just so that way Randy Orton could catch Carlito in the air for the RKO. That's just my personal opinion. As for the match itself, it's all right. It's a good placement filler. I mean, you had two big main event matches, you know, going back to back. It's a good way to calm down the crowd, let them get a piss break. You know, I took a piss break during this match, even though Randy Orton's my boy. You know, I didn't miss the ending moment where Carlito springboarded into the RKO, so I was fine with it. It was okay. Up next is the main event of the evening. John Cena, challenger, taking on WWE Champion Edge. This was a feud that they were pretty much building the whole summer. Edge won the WWE Championship in the triple threat match. Edge beat Cena at SummerSlam that year, you know, using the brass knucks in Cena's hometown of Boston. Cena came out, said, I want one more shot at the title. And Edge said, fine, I'll give you one more shot, John, because the week before, you know, John Cena threw Edge into the Long Island Sea or whatever. I forgot what they called it. He threw him into the fucking ocean. And so Edge was so pissed off, he wanted to give Cena one more match. And he said, under my terms and my conditions, he beat Cena up with steel chairs, ladders, and a table. He's like, it's going to be tables, ladders, and chairs in my hometown of Toronto. And you kind of knew Edge was losing. It was like, It was obvious. They had Cena lose in his hometown. You're going to have Edge lose in his hometown. It made sense. They built it up around the fact that it was going to be in Toronto way too fucking much in this promo. Like, they had it where Edge is like, oh, how are you going to feel, Cena, when the people are not cheering you, when the people are booing you, and I come in on my white horse as the WWE champion, and I leave the WWE champion. Like, they were just building up to the fact that you were saying that fucking Edge is not going to win this match. But the match itself between Edge and Cena, I will say this. It's a great fucking match. This is a great match. You were thinking like Cena in a TLC match. I mean, this ain't like Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy taking on Edge in the TLC match, or even the Dudleys. This is like fucking Cena. And he's going to be in a TLC match against Edge? Like, you didn't think this would be a great match, but it was great. You know, some even argue this is probably John Cena's best match in the WWE. Out of his whole career, you know, like the matches I get talked about for Cena's best matches that I hear a lot, it's this one with Edge, him versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank, him versus Kurt Angle in his debut on SmackDown, and him versus Shawn Michaels in that 60-minute Raw match. Those are like the 4 Cena matches that always get brought up for, you know, John Cena's best matches. You know, and this is one of them. You know, it was a great match. Is it the best Edge match? No, I wouldn't say it's the best Edge match. It's probably top 10 in Edge's career, that's for sure. But I wouldn't say it's the best Edge match before John Cena. You could argue this is probably his best match, and if you want to say best gimmick John Cena match, this is definitely his best gimmick match, because he was actually booked vulnerable in this match. There were so many times when you were watching this match that you thought John Cena wasn't going to win. And, you know, I like the ending to this match. You have it where, you know, Cena, he shows remorse to, you know, after FUing Edge off the top of the fucking ladder to 4 tables. You have him show some character and show some remorse. Like, he felt bad in doing so. But at the end of the day, all that matters is this championship. And I remember when he slapped my dad at my house, this was for everything. This was for everything. My championship. And, you know, it was a good story that they were telling between Edge and Cena. You know, I never really viewed Edge and Cena as this great rivalry that the WWE loves to hype it up to be, but it was a good ending to this rivalry for the summertime. It was definitely a good ending to it, even though we all know what led afterwards, because this was also the start of the John Cena Reign of Terror. Yep, I talked about it in my Vengeance 2007 review. This is the start of the Reign of Terror for John Felix Anthony Cena. So a lot of people probably hate this match, and we'll just say this match sucked. But at the time, this match was great, and I still think it's a great match. I still think it's great. It fits the storyline that they were running. I loved how Cena actually showed emotion, and he was booked well in this match. This is probably one of Cena's better storytelling, I would say, in his career. I would definitely say that. I felt he did a good job storytelling in this match, and I felt Edge did a good job in this match, too. This is a great fucking match and a great way to end Unforgiven 06. Unforgiven 2006, I say, is a good pay-per-view. There's some duds on here. You know, like I said, I felt Trish and Lita was kind of disappointing, especially for Trish's last match, but it's still okay. It's not terrible. Not a lot of the matches are bad either. Like, the worst match you're going to get is the World Tag Team title match, and that's just okay. You know, that's not bad. This is a good pay-per-view. I suggest you guys check out this pay-per-view, especially if the WWE Network. It's Labor Day tomorrow. Y'all have nothing to do. Smoke up a blunt, sit down, watch Unforgiven 06, and then watch Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. Thank you guys for checking out this review. If you guys liked me, check out all my other videos on my channel. Check out the NXT and Impact review, and tune in tomorrow for the WWE Monday Night Raw review. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. Check out my website, chillinwithchase.com. Make sure to answer the question, what Fall Brawl I should review. That's also going to be in the description box for anyone who doesn't know yet. So, anyways, guys, thank you all very much. I'll see you all next time. Peace.